working, man.
And you know, I get a lot of flyers, man. I get the E flyers, I get the hard flyers, whatever. But I ain't never seen a he flyer. Like, these are human flyers.
You know, like, I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P, and a lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious, I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
I always wondered. I wanted to just always, you know, I want to be in somebody's music video, just
on some
in
bird,
slow
man.
motion, yeah, just rubbing a hand, make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, make it seem like I really got things going on. Street Senators back in the building, back like we never left. That's Big Zo. I'm Lamont King. Welcome to the program, man. We're now in session.
Yes, we are.
Live
Yes,
and
we are.
direct from the
Yes,
floor
we
of the
are.
Senate. Shout out to our new affiliates. I think we got some new affiliates.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but I just got
Somewhere.
an email and
Somewhere.
said, "Yeah, I got new affiliates."
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, we're being checked.
We're being checked for and looked for.
We're being perused.
Yeah.
We're being viewed.
We just signed a 10-day contract with Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Kmart. Well, Goodwill.
No, as long as it's not Radio Shack, you
As
can
long
hear
as it's
what's
not
going on
radio.
with them.
Yeah. What's happening with Radio Shack?
Oh man, they just dropping their stock. It's like it's under $1.
No way.
Past year, they just been going. I mean, but I don't know whose expectations was high for Radio Shack anyway. But
Well, I mean, it's a tech company in the digital age. Are you saying we don't have need for the offerings that Radio Shack has to offer us anymore?
Well, see, what happens is the big box stores come in and they set up shop on the corner, on the strip, and
Right.
they just basically eventually bump everybody.
Now, what do you learn me on that? What is big box store? What is
You
that? Is that a
know,
large woman? How does that work?
Well, yeah, it's some big box women out
what is
there.
a big box
but you know, you got everything from Best Buy to Walmart to
Right,
Target,
right.
Costco.
But even they compete with the online merchandise,
Amazon, eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, with all that going on right now, and just somebody grabbing their phone and be like, "Oh, I want this," boom,
Yeah.
have it at the house the next day.
Well, I mean, now that I think about it, now that you said it, I didn't even know that was going on. But you got to ask yourself, when was the last time you went into a Radio Shack?
On purpose.
On purpose, deliberately, like with reason.
I mean, like I'll fall into one, like, cause I'm over there by one, and I'm like, yo, I need to get.
I don't even know where one is.
You see,
That's crazy. I didn't even think about it like that.
That's gonna be one of those stores that's you know. But you know what's even crazier is Target is having problems.
Target?
Yeah, I mean, like you would think that Target is gonna be one of those big box stores that's gonna be around, you know, to compete with the Walmarts. And,
Right.
But I mean, they're even having issues. They're trying to figure out how to
Reinvent.
evaluate
Yeah.
and reinvent themselves.
Yeah, I mean, like going back to the Radio Shack, I remember the last time I did go into one, it was for like some adapter piece to some electronic.
Little trinkets.
Yeah. And I went in and they said, I was like, "Do you have?" And they was like, "Well, no, we don't." And I was like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why shouldn't? Why don't you?
Why don't you?
Yeah,
If you want to
exactly.
compete."
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they have little trinkets, and people pick up little trinkets when they going to buy something else. So they're picking up little trinkets at Walmart. They're picking up little trinkets at grocery stores now. So Radio Shack is.
Now, you know, we're in this country, and the big deal about America and our economy is jobs. Everything is jobs. With places like these closing, and you know, the consumer, the everyday Joe, me and you, moving towards buying stuff online. I get everything from Amazon.
Do you?
Everything.
You got the drones coming to your house yet?
Not yet. I wish they would.
Okay, that's
Because
coming.
I like that Prime 2-day delivery.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
with that though, like is that a good thing that is evolving towards that? Because that's not a job creator.
It's not.
But it's changed the way we
It's a
shop.
job eliminator.
It's a job eliminator.
Yeah.
But it's changed the way we shop. So now our habits aren't job conducive. Like the way we do things don't employ other people. The way we conduct business.
Well, this goes back to something I've said for years. I've been saying this to you forever.
Okay.
Convenience will be the death of mankind.
Wow.
Convenience
Will be the death of mankind. Wow. How so? Explain, Big So.
Well, let's just go into what's going on right now. Technology.
Okay.
They're coming up with something faster, something
Smarter.
smarter, that could entertain you longer
for cheaper.
For a cheaper price.
Yeah.
It's gonna get to a point where you have, and I gotta stop doing that. It's like that Obama thing. But the artificial intelligence.
Right, I saw that.
It's on its way. It's here in some spheres.
Yeah.
But in our sphere, our dimension, being the layman that we are, we don't see it walking down the street.
Well, pretty soon. I was reading an article not too long ago about the robot, the new robot that they got, the toy robot. Now they've had robots for a minute.
Forever.
Sony makes one. You see it in the commercials all the time at the Super Bowl.
Had it since the 70s.
Yeah. And, Mitsubishi got one. Yeah. They got the little toy ones that can talk and do all this other stuff. Right. But now they got one that's a toy servant hybrid. Where you can play with it, but it play with your back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
whoa.
Let me say it again. You can play with it.
Stop it.
But it play with your back.
Okay.
But what it does is it feels emotion and senses by way of the vocal tones in the room and in your voice, whether or not what type of mood you're in. And then it consoles you.
Oh.
And it deals with you that way.
Now, how does the consoling go?
Well, it's like an emotion indicator.
Okay.
Now, I'm just picking words right now.
Okay.
And it indicates your emotion, so then it gives a desired response based on your emotion.
So it sounds like it could be a stress reliever.
Yeah.
Now, how does that work?
What kind of stress relief? But that's scary to me. You come home from a long, hard day at work, and you on the phone or you talking to somebody, and you're like, oh, man. And that little, oh, man. And the the robot come up to you.
With a beer.
Yeah, with a beer.
Or your cigar.
Right.
Or, a foot rub.
Yeah. You had a rough day, huh, Mr. Zone? Like, and you like, I did. Next thing you know, you're talking back to it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the movie?
Well, that's what people are doing with their, what you call it? I'm looking for an iPhone I don't even have. I got a Droid, but what's the Siri?
Yeah, Siri, yeah.
You know, people are talking to their Siris like it's their buddy.
Yeah, like talking back to it, having conversations with it.
Right.
What's the movie with the guy, Joaquin Phoenix, where he fell in love with the artificial intelligence that he created? That movie, you didn't see that movie? I forgot the name of it, but he fell in love with it. Like, because he didn't have a lot of friends. He was dysfunctional. He didn't have, he was socially inept.
Right.
But he fell in love with it because it had personality and characteristics that he would want in a woman. He designed into the artificial intelligence, into the AI.
That's right.
That's smart, but that's scary. I mean, that's what we're moving towards because everything talks back to us now.
Did you see the DirecTV commercial?
No.
With the so basically they're setting it up where the boxes don't need wires.
Wireless, and the girl.
So the girl is, and I was like, this is too much because this is what's really happening.
This is
what's really going on.
You see the one where she stripped and was like, well, you like this? You like
I was like, this is too much. The virtual reality thing. I mean, even with the games, I'm sure we're a year or two away from PlayStation, Xbox. Or Facebook even, they bought some virtual reality company where you put the helmet or the glasses on and you really feel like you're in the game.
Right.
So that's like, I mean, we've seen little BC flicks on Showtime where they would have little movies where you would go into a little virtual reality realm, put the glasses on and you having a jump off.
You there. But I mean, now look though, now I don't want to get too deep, but I will because that's what I do.
Right, get deep.
So what happens is that's happening now, and you got to also look at like Sony's. I think it was Sony PlayStation. Yeah, Sony PlayStation. Their little motto was "Live in your world, play in ours." But in reality, you spending more time in fantasy. The fantasy becomes your reality,
right?
And you don't know how to tell the difference. So you look at all these kids shooting and killing, going into the classroom. The two young girls, and I think Minnesota, I believe, when they went and dragged their friend out into the woods and stabbed her up. And then their explanation was they were role playing a game that they spend a lot of
in the fantasy.
You get caught in the fantasy, so it's a fine line between fantasy and reality.
We're in trouble.
And we're in trouble because even us. This is us. Walking down the street. This is us.
And I've seen them.
This is us. This is everybody.
I've seen people like in New York, whole different monster.
They're not even. Nobody's looking up.
Well, see, not just that. You got to be so like you have to be from there or work there for a while to be able to do it.
To be navigated.
And be able to do it right.
Yeah.
Because the tourists, when they doing it, they bumping into people, they falling off the curb, they walking into traffic because they used to being in Bumble, wherever.
Right.
And they're on their phone and they're looking, but it's Manhattan.
Yeah.
So it's 1,000 people coming this way, that way. So you bumping into them and you falling this and they like, hey, and they calling you all kind of names and little skirmishes go on.
Right.
Because they calling you a tourist and say, go back to
It's we're wired. It's like IV. It's in the vein now. I mean, we're so digitally attached and we're so embedded. I see kids at the bus stop. I see kids cross the street and they got the headphones in and you're not even aware of your surroundings. You get your head knocked in and not even know it.
Well, it's so bad now that even when you taking you going to bed, you know what I'm saying. I'm watching people falling asleep and they hit a little bing
and they wake up. Yeah. Yeah.
Just trying to keep up.
We can't
keep
go. I mean, I saw a little girl. I was on the track the other day. And the girl had to walk around the track and jogging at the things. She wasn't picking songs. She texting. You can't go 10 minutes, 20 minutes without
you gotta be able to unplug. I'm gonna get a shirt.
Yeah. Say unplug.
Unplug.
Yeah, unplug.
I dare you.
Hashtag unplug.
Let's go say unplug.
I dare you. That's what we need to do.
Just find out what life is about or what it used to be.
Yeah, because there's no social interaction. We're all, you know what I mean? And I was on the track. I saw the look on your face when
I was like, yeah, really?
Yeah, I was. And I'm going to tell you, I pulled a muscle. Pulled a muscle. I injured my calf muscle. It was major Charlie horsage, major crampage.
You was Bronner?
I was Lebronning. I was Lebronning. And we can take y'all back to that first game. Was it the first game or the second game? Of the
first game.
First game of the NBA Finals. Spurs versus the Heat. End of the game. 5 minutes left to play. They up. And LeBron catches a cramp. Air condition. He blamed it on the air condition. And the air condition went out in the arena.
Well, first
it was too hot.
I mean, before you get into the cramp, I'm upset still about that AC system situation.
You think it was something? They was up to something? How?
Well,
what major venue?
It bothered me a little bit that arena such as San Antonio. This is a program.
This is a program. Yeah.
This is not.
This is the league.
Yeah, this is San Antonio.
Yeah.
They used to playing them big games.
What else are you doing in San Antonio? You ain't doing nothing else.
And if you knew the AC was broke when?
Probably before the game.
Exactly.
It didn't go out.
Exactly. And guess what?
Tickets $100.
You get on the phone to whoever, and they coming out of their bed.
Oh, you shoveling Freon. You spraying
something
Freon in there.
And if you got enough fans already set up in there, that means you knew you just didn't have 1 million fans sitting in the basement.
Right. So LeBron caught the cramp and he had to be carried out of the game essentially.
Right.
Went back to the locker room, didn't play the rest of the game. They lost. People saying, "Oh, LeBron." Everybody criticize everything he do.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you about this cramp I had jogging at the track.
Okay.
On the second lap. I couldn't walk.
Right.
And I was one of the people criticizing LeBron. I'm like, man, you a super athlete. You get paid all this money. You should be able to do that. I could not walk when I tell you. You hear me?
Okay, but you comparing yourself to LeBron.
What is that?
You just said it. A super athlete.
Yes. I'm athletic.
You athletic.
You know
okay. But a super athlete, the expectations are so much higher.
Yeah, but I mean, go get a half a banana, get some Shaq's Icy Hot, and come back in the game. But I know it can debilitate you.
No, it can
cripple you.
It can, but you know what? Like for some people who have had injuries, broken bones, torn tendons, ligaments, meniscus, cartilage, whatever.
Ooh, nice. Meniscus.
If when you have that, that's a debilitating injury.
Yeah. But if that muscle spaz and tighten up and you can't move, you ain't doing nothing. And no matter what he does, whether he wins or loses, he's going to get criticized. That will be his legacy. The fact that if he wins, you were supposed to.
Yeah.
If he loses, see, I told y'all.
Right.
He don't have a heart. He don't have a will to win. He's not a champion.
Right.
So it don't matter what he does. But that's
is he the best of all time?
No, he's not the best of all time.
Who is?
I mean, you could argue that. You could argue different positions. You could, because people compare him to Michael, but he's more Magic in reality.
Definitely more Magic.
But I mean, it just, he's great.
Definitely
he's
more
greatness. Magic. He is greatness, but he has some things to him. Yeah. And the NBA will definitely be interested in watching next year, especially because I'm paying attention to the Clippers. You know what I mean, with the new ownership.
Right.
And
Microsoft.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they say he's had some issues too, the new owner. But Donald Sterling, of course, will fade into oblivion, as Mike Tyson would say, and disappear, and we'll never my guess is we'll never hear from him again. But it begs the question to me about having a racist boss and the protests that the Clippers went through and the protests that they almost did.
But who doesn't have
They
a racist or prejudiced boss?
Right. So the question is, if you found out your boss was racist, if you were in the private sector, worked for the government, whatever, if you had the opportunity to protest and complain and do all that, but knowing that you could lose your job, would you do it?
Well, it depends on what happened and how did I find out that he was racist. Did he say something to me? Was something said to someone else? Did I hear it personally? Or was I told that it was said? Is there proof? Is there evidence? Because I can't step out there
Right.
if I don't have nothing to fall back on.
All right, so you got the proof, and it's out there.
I got
and
the
it's-
proof,
and
and
tape
I got-
recording, but you make big money though.
Right, I make
and
big
you know
money.
that if you make a stink,
like NBA money?
maybe not NBA money,
Okay, but like
big
100,
enough,
200,000.
couple hundred stacks.
Okay.
And if you make a stink, you possibly could lose your
If
job.
I'm making that, I got room to get a good lawyer. So yeah, I'm jumping. I'm jumping. I mean, I got lawyer money.
All right, well, let me flip it. You automatically will lose your job if you complain.
If I
would you
complain.
still do it? It's a question of pride. That's what I'm getting to.
Uh,
Does this generation have pride anymore?
Does this generation have pride anymore? I think this generation has a different type of pride. Like I think it's a lot less room for that.
Yeah.
Because like, our generation and younger, we like, huh, who you talking to? What you say?
Yeah, right.
We ain't going for a lot of stuff that our parents had to go through.
Right.
Because they had to.
No, I disagree. I got to veto that. I got to shoot that down.
Okay, break it down.
Nah, I think younger than us, they're going for everything because they don't know no better.
Well, no. Okay. See, that's different. Where
They don't even know what real racism is.
If you hanging out with your boss
Uh-huh.
and he like, yeah, and that N word,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. But that's different than him being racist. Like
Yeah.
if he just throwing the word around, that don't make him racist. But if he's saying it with some malice behind it, totally different.
All right, so back to you. He's saying it with some malice behind it. You find out, but you're going to lose your job if you say
I might have
something.
lost it already. I might have smacked him in the mouth.
Okay, you one of the tough guys.
Yeah, I'm one of the tough guys. So like I have to be real then.
Yeah, okay.
I have to be real then. And if it was like, say if it was a woman, I might not smack her in the mouth as quick.
Okay, good.
So,
good save. That's a good save right there. Let me write that down.
So
that in the minutes.
So if that was the case, if it was a woman, and I'm not going, lash out on her.
Right.
I got to think that through.
Right.
And if they're talking directly to me, and she says, "Oh, well, you is good for nothing,"
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, I think that I'm working at a company that's paying me that way. They got a human resource department.
Right.
And if they's like, oh, we can't do anything about it, then I'm going to get a lawyer.
Right.
So yeah, we handling that. And if I get fired behind it, then they gonna owe me some money.
Right. Some other people are complaining too, switching gears. Jamal Bryant, Pastor Jamal Bryant,
Yeah.
Baltimore Empowerment Temple. He not too long ago he did a sermon where he was talking about relationships.
Yeah, that was a while ago. I remember that. Yeah.
Men and women. He's talking about appreciating your anointed wife.
Yeah.
Appreciating the woman you're with and not honoring the side chick.
Right.
And he used this quote from the lyrics of the song, "These hoes ain't loyal."
Right. In the church.
In the church.
Standing at the pulpit.
And it was a hellstorm. It went viral. The video was online. It went viral. Everybody had an opinion on it.
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay?
It's not okay. Because he
Wow,
said
you
it.
shock me.
He said it in a sense like, it wasn't like, oh, we got to watch what these singers is doing. We got to watch what we buying. Because, you got artists that's saying these hoes ain't loyal, and the girls are saying it louder than the actual artists. If he was going at it that way, but he actually was saying these hoes ain't loyal.
Yes.
And no, you're not supposed to say that in the pulpit.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
I think given who he is,
Who is he?
He's a young preacher that has a wide cross section of audience. Like he reaches people, he meets them where they at. He's one of us. So
But
to
he's
speak.
at the church. He's not.
But you got
in the youth center.
But you got to know how Empowerment Temple go though. Like he come in there like this though.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's
Right.
real relaxed and laid back because he believes in meeting you where you at. And I think, given the context of what he was giving the sermon about, I think it's absolutely okay for him to use that language to try to convey that point and with the seriousness and also with the contemporary familiarity that you have with music on the radio. And he was speaking from a personal standpoint because he had infidelity issues in his marriage.
His wife was cheating on him, or he was cheating on his wife?
He was cheating on his wife.
So then why is it these hoes ain't loyal? Is he calling himself a hoe?
Because he could be. But within,
no, he wasn't. He wasn't.
But within context, he's saying he was honoring the side joint that was trying to break up his situation, that had no loyalty. You know what I mean? Like, knew he was with somebody, and he always said he was guilty of falling for the flesh. He always said that's his weakness. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel him using that language if it's for a point. Like, we don't complain about nobody else in no other setting using the language, but
that's a separate setting. That's a setting that you put on a different platform.
But in this day and age, when people got so many other distractions and options, you got to meet people where they at. And sometimes that takes tough talk from the pulpit. You got to be real. Yeah. Like if I'm sitting in there and I'm 17, 18, I'm texting you, talking, and then I hear you say that, guess what? I'm paying attention because I want to see where you're going with it. You know what I mean? So I thought it was okay. Man.
It's the way you break that down. I take that, but see, I don't go to church, but when I did,
right?
It was back in the day, and so I still have that mentality of what church is supposed to be.
Right.
I'm not at these new modern churches where it's 1 million people there, and you got screens all over, and and it's to be seen, not to hear.
Yeah, some
or
places.
Listen or
some
you know what
places,
I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not bashing the mega churches, and I'm not bashing the people that go to them.
And I wouldn't even consider his a mega church, but
not even that. I'm just saying, like,
progressive.
The trying to attract and relate to the youth.
I think that's necessary.
No, that's great.
Absolutely necessary.
That's great. But you still got them 80-year-olds that's been sitting on that front row for 40 years.
That's who he turned off. But he said it in his little apology, my message is not for everybody. Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I mean, he ain't up there, 4, 5, 6 still on it.
Oh, okay.
He
I'm trying to figure where he's going.
No, I'm saying he ain't in the pulpit throwing dice or cussing and all that. Got the hat turned backwards. He ain't doing all that.
Right. That'd be too much.
I think to get some attention, he did exactly what he said.
No, I mean, I've heard and I've seen clips of ministers, preachers, whatever, pastors curse and to make a point in their pulpits, and I guess. It's not for me to judge because I'm not a member or was I there, so I don't know the context before and after that actual statement was made. But I guess it threw me off when I heard about it because I'm like, he's talking about these hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Sean.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna get at him, we got to get at everybody. That's kind of serving that up for the kid. The radio serves it up for the kids, and nobody question them.
But see, where I'm at on the standards is different, man. You can't compare that. That's apples and bananas.
Yeah, just like Chuck D said, man, they raping the culture, man. Hey, guess what? Lastly, R. Kelly's daughter just came out as a transgender man. Did you know this?
I didn't know. Well, I forgot he had kids because I'll be thinking about him messing with the kids.
Yeah,
so
right.
I forget that he had his own kids. But or allegedly messing with the kids.
And his daughter Jaya came out as Jay now. She's a man. She wants to be transgender. I got to read up on that because I don't know how that works. You can choose your association or orientation, I guess.
Well, as far as they're concerned, it chose them.
Right. But I mean the way you present yourself, because there's a difference between orientation, identity, and then sexuality.
Okay.
So I got to do some reading.
That get real tricky.
It do get tricky. It did get tricky.
So how would you react if you was R. Kelly?
And they said he hasn't responded yet. But me, that's a tough one. I haven't really brainstormed on that yet. I mean, if it was my kid, of course I love him to death. But it's just tricky. It's these times, these days, is real different. So
God bless the children. You know what I'm saying? We got to do our best
for the youth.
But see, you know what? The only problem I have with that is it could get real tough for the kid.
Yeah.
Nowadays. Going out there and these young kids nowadays, man, it's cutthroat.
So all the kids, man, be you. Do you be you? Well, and not
as long as you're not hurting nobody else.
Yeah. Street center, that's
If
big.
you try to hurt mine, I'm coming.
That's Big Zoe on Lamont King, man. Check us out. Street Senators with an S on Twitter. Street Senators on Facebook. Lamont King on Facebook. Lazy Lamont with 2 E's on Twitter. And also, we're here. Catch us on the next session, man. We got a lot to talk about. Street Senators, let everybody know. iTunes, Humor Mill Mag, right here, right now. I'll at you.
Yeah.
Done. I heard you in an interview recently, and you were talking about your favorite comedian of all time. And you said Chris Rock.
Yes.
Over Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
Kind of explain that to me.
I like Chris's. The reason Chris works for me. He's my favorite.
Your favorite.
He's my favorite in that he is an analyst. He is a social analyst. It's cultural criticism more than I put him in the same category as Carlin in terms of social satire, criticism, analysis. I think he's funnier than Carlin in that regard, and it just appeals to me.
Right. When they ask us, and when I say us, when they ask an urban comedian, you have to say Richard. You can't not say Richard Pryor.
Right. I don't have that problem.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny though. Your audiences, you got a special coming out, and it's called
Women and Black Dudes.
Women and Black Dudes. So your audiences, if I didn't know any better as a fan or a consumer, I would think you were in the urban comic. Because
based on that title, the thing is I technically am an urban comic in that I talk about urban issues.
Right.
I talk about issues that Black and Latino people can relate to, or it's specifically about Black people shit.
Right.
So I do have that, but I in terms of like style, I'm not really like an urban comic, and I don't do exclusively urban room or do them even very much.
Now, I recently ran into Dave on the street corner in New York, in the Village, and he ran him literally on the street corner, smoking a jack, and he was tank top. I didn't recognize him. I mean, he's Diesel.
Yeah.
He is sort of like, what is that about?
I don't know.
Is he always like a fit guy?
Not at all. He still smokes 2 packs a day. It's not.
Okay.
I think he just likes. He said he just did it out of boredom, and then at a certain point, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
I think he likes having muscles.
And likes having muscles. And for the record, you and him are great. You're good.
Yep. Yeah. Good. Done shows. Texted. We text regularly. Texted. I haven't texted. I think I texted him a week and a half ago or something.
Would you ever work with him in TV again?
No, but that's just because I don't. There's how if it goes well
as a writer, director.
No,
it's like the Neal Brennan show.
Oh, if he wanted to come on as a
co-creator of the Neal Brennan show.
That'll never happen. But yes, absolutely. I just wouldn't want to have to put myself in a position to have to rely on him.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's the thing. Is like it's not. He's not in a. There's no relying on him.
Right.
He's not going to do anything. When people are like, is he going to do? He's not going to do anything where he has to be somewhere. That's my feeling.
No, there's a lot of people like that too.
Nah, I mean, there's not that many.
Yeah.
But there's some.
Man, I'm just working, man.
And I get a lot of flyers, man. I get the E flyers, I get the hard flyers, whatever. But I ain't never seen a he flyer. Like these are human flyers.
Like I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious. I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.